What's up and welcome to the first ever episode of my horror movie review series for my channel /brother on YouTube. I'm your host Rashard Cunningham, the brother who gushes for the good, the bad, and the most gory cinematic or streamed horror story. And today I'm going to be talking about the movie The Monkey. The Monkey is based off of the novella by Stephen King, and the source material was adapted faithfully from book to movie. Well, I shouldn't even say book, it was just a novella. The thing about this movie is it's not serious. You would think it would be serious, or you kind of want it to be serious, but once you really get past the first 5 minutes, you realize yeah, this is definitely gonna be slapstick horror. This movie is directed by Osgood Perkins, and Oz Perkins, he's also the director of the movie Longlegs, and I actually liked Longlegs. I was surprised I liked it.
Let me in now, and it can be nice.
But this one is definitely not Longlegs. It's a different vibe, different feel for sure. Emphasis on horror comedy. Like, going into this, like, it is horror comedy. Like, do not think it's serious or elevated in any way. The only thing that I would say makes this movie a little bit elevated is just the fact that it tackles the subject of death in a morbidly hilarious way, and I think that's ultimately just the theme.
Everybody dies.
Because the premise of this movie is the fact that people are dying in all these really outlandish and grotesque ways. Regardless, everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
And sometimes you kind of have to just laugh at the fact that death is a part of life, and that is Osgood Perkins' approach with this movie.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's fine.
It reminds me of the show Dead Like Me, which also had a interesting approach to death. The premise of that show is Grim Reapers living in the real world as humans after they die, but their job instead is to claim souls as opposed to work a 9 to 5. Well, actually, they have to work a 9 to 5 as well, which kind of sucks.
What kind of universe would give me the power to extract souls from people's bodies but still force me to keep a suck-ass job if I want to eat?
The show approached death in a more comedic tone that helps you almost not even fear death so much, but almost just kind of look at it as, yeah, sometimes death is a little funny. It happens at the most inopportune times, and yeah, that's kind of just the reality of it.
Everybody dies.
I also want to mention the movie is produced by James Wan, who is one of the pioneers of the Saw franchise. He created the Conjuring franchise. I mean, holy shit, like, legend in horror he is. So he is the producer on this movie. I really enjoy The Monkey for what it did give. However, I have my qualms. Like, first of all, I feel like this movie needed a lot more gore. I was bummed. I was expecting, and I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't expecting this to be super, elevated horror or something on the brink of like Hereditary or something like that, but I was still expecting like the gore to be a bit more top-notch, you know what I mean? I was expecting gore on the level of like the movie X, and this gore in this movie and like the death sequences, this is, no, it's very cartoonish and slapstick and comical, and honestly, like, I don't know how many fucking times people exploded in this movie. It was silly.
I mean, Jesus, you guys aren't even trying anymore, are you?
There were some practical effects, but not many. Could have been more, especially at the end. Like, one of the last deaths is just flat out CGI, and I was just like, oh man, what are we doing? We had one job with these effects, and it was just to not make them look shitty. And the pacing is also off. Like, the pacing is really off. There's not as much build up to some of these horrendous deaths. Like, sometimes they just kind of happen, like, just cut to a death. It's very Family Guy. It's not like Final Destination where there's actually some build up, because, for example, Final Destination 3, one of the best in the series, in fact, the best Final Destination ever created. There's great build-up for each death. Every sequence is satisfying and gross and effective and scary and leaves you feeling haunted expected. None of that happened here, and I was disappointed. I wanted more. I wanted so much more to be happening.
Does that sound like something you want?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, you'll never get it.
You're a dummy, bitch.
The main premise is there's this guy named Hal Shelbourne, and he is a twin. We have Theo James playing Hal and Bill. Hal is very meek, and he is the central character to follow. Him and also his teenage son, Petey. He doesn't have a whole lot going on. He either just spends most of the movie wanting his father's love and affection, or basically telling him fuck off. Petey's like 14? There's not really a whole lot this kid can really do in this movie. Hal has let the monkey affect his entire life to the point where he just avoided anybody that could potentially love him, including his son. But the thing is, he has this one last weekend before his son is legally adopted by Elijah Wood's character. And so they're on a little goofy movie road trip. And Hal, he's trying so hard not to tell his son about his twin brother Bill, and his brother Bill fucking sucks. One thing in the movie, because he thinks this is cool, even though this is so fucking Happy Days. They would try and shake hands, but his brother will take it back and fake slick his hair. It's just so stupid. It's just dude, who is this guy? And need I mention, he grows up to be a dude with the most fucked up mullet ever. Okay, the mullet is not for everybody, and people just need to understand that. The second Rihanna came out with a mullet, everybody all of a sudden believed, I can do it too. I can pull it off too. No, you can't. You can't, okay? And you played yourself, just like this kid did, because this mullet is just oh my gosh, now I'm about to turn into Brad Mondo in a minute, because when I talk about how fucked up this hair is, but you know what, not as bad as the fact that there is a character played by Rahan Campbell, yes, as in fucking Corey Cunningham from Halloween Ends, the death of Halloween Ends, because he fucking ruined that movie. I am definitely a part of the treasury of the Behead Corey Cunningham coalition. I fucking hate Corey Cunningham.
I hate you!
First of all, he shows up on the scene looking like Eddie fucking Munson from Stranger Things, but he's got this Jack and Jill looking ass wig, and it is jet black, and I mean inky jet black, and he is just serving no purpose.
Paul, why is you here?
The only thing his character is trying to do is steal the evil demonic monkey because it somehow reminds him of his dad that ran out on him.
Whack.
I was pissed the entire time he was on screen. Get him out of here. This monkey is actually really kind of cool. This monkey has a little bit of swag to it, which I liked. They had the monkey with the drum because Disney, for some odd reason, trademarked the monkey with the vest and the cymbals, which, okay, Disney.
You ain't nobody.
Honestly, the monkey with the drums is cooler. I kind of fucked with it, especially because there's a part where the monkey will actually spin the drumstick in his hand. And also on top of that, the marketing for the monkey was insane. I actually saw a picture on Twitter and it just had this giant ass monkey with the drum, which I think is pretty dope. We also have Sarah Levy, who is from Schitt's Creek. She plays the twins' Aunt Ida. Her death is actually teased. They teased it a few months before the release of the movie, and it's a gory death, or at least it had potential to be, but because the buildup was good, the buildup was really fun. However, you don't see what you think you're gonna see in the movie. It's kind of like when they show the dance sequence in Megan, which is also actually kind of funny because now that I think of it, James Wan is also the guy that helped create Megan. In the trailer, they show Megan doing the cunty flip and a spin to the wall. They cut that part out in the actual movie. This is kind of just like that. You think you're gonna get some really cool Final Destination type of death, and Nah. We also have Tatiana Maslany, who plays the twins' mom.
Everybody dies.
It was weird because the way she was playing her character, I didn't know what tone the movie was trying to establish for a while. It was kind of like, okay, are we in like a kind of awkward, quirky, Tim Burton dark type of element, or like what's going on? I'm gonna give this one a 3 slashes because it was definitely middle of the road. It was almost there, could have been great. I'm sure there's tons of people who are like, are you fucking kidding me, this movie's the best thing ever, and it's just my opinion. I didn't love it. I wanted to, but I just didn't love the monkey as much as I wanted and probably could have. And also, I'm so disappointed Elijah Wood doesn't die in this movie. Spoiler. But yeah, he doesn't, which is annoying because he's only in this movie for 5 minutes and he's essentially the worst. Like, I think it was his line, "Hal, I just took your power." I think that was what made me like just feel like, please die. He has to have a gruesome death. He's gonna die. Like, he's gonna get like the worst, most humiliating thing that happens to him. And nothing. We just get 5 minutes of Elijah Wood being an asshole for nothing. What? Like, oh, what a waste. Oh, if the movie had ended with Elijah Wood dying, I would have literally, like, I would have been like, okay, this is a 4. This is a 4. 4 out of 5. But no, like, we just get Elijah Wood being the most, like, douchey, smiley, like, honestly, you want to punch this guy in the fucking face. And he doesn't die. That's, like, that is always such a fucking bummer when the asshole does not die. Like, it just feels wrong. Like, oh, man, it was such a rob to me. It was such a rob of a good setup. We could have really had, like, something, like, to make fun of the whole "I'm taking your power" thing. That would have been so good. But no, it didn't happen. Frodo didn't die, so you win some, you lose some.
You lose! Good day, sir!
Now, personally, from my perspective, would I recommend The Monkey? I would, definitely, for like a dumb, silly, fun, goofy time with your friends and some popcorn, some weed, for sure. But I think it's just gonna kind of come and go. I don't hate it. I would give it 1 more slash if Corey fucking Cunningham wasn't in it, but you know. What can you do, right? So that has been my first episode of my horror movie review series for my channel. It's so weird to say that because I haven't been in front of the camera in so long. But thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the Slasher Brother channel, I would love it if you did. Oh my gosh, I've got so much fun stuff on there, and I've got a bunch of other things coming too, so I'm really excited. All right. So, until it's time to slay another day, I will see y'all later.